Board. There we go. All right. Welcome everyone to our regular Tuesday night professional networking Zoom call with Collaborating Connections. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, and I am the leader of the group. Collaborating Connections has been around for over 5 years. We're a part of the TTR networking family. And TTR Networking has been actively engaging professionals for more than 12 years. We used to meet in person live prior to the pandemic. Once the pandemic hit and we were sheltering in place, we have gone to this virtual Zoom format and found that this actually worked out really well for us because we're now able to connect with wonderful professionals from coast to coast and around the world occasionally, and talk about ourselves and our business, share what we know, ask for questions and ideas and resources, and learn a little bit as we go. the excuse me, TTR networking, the To the Rescue Network. The rescue is an acronym for relationships. RES. E is for education. S is for success strategies. C is for community. CU is for understanding. And the last E is for execution. With all that we know and share, of course, it wouldn't mean anything unless we go forward and put it into action. But we are all about relationship development and encouraging education. And with that being said, I am going to ask Jennifer Johnson, our TTR Networking Executive Director, if she wouldn't mind sharing updates and information about happenings that are coming up within our TTR networking realm. Jennifer?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I was actually today we've had kind of a weird day where it was just completely I feel like I kind of lost the whole day. We were at a doctor's appointment that took a lot longer than we thought, but we have a bunch of things coming up, so I'm just pulling things together here. One of our big things that we have started, we have our happy hour with TTR networking, and our first month we started on February 15th, and we have our next one tomorrow, and it's March 15th, and it's down on the south side, but it's not too late to put it on your calendar. If you want to join us, we'd love to have you. And it's at Chewy's on Southport Road. And I guess that's considered Southport, Southport, Indiana. I guess I really didn't think there was a Southport, Indiana, but there is. So anyway, that is tomorrow. That's a big deal. 2 weeks from yesterday, we have our first TTR presents, and we have, well, actually, it's Keys to Business Success, and that is going to be with one of our business coaches from our network, and it's Linda Lewis. And I don't know what is wrong with me. I am trying to find where I sent it out because I want to give you the exact so we have Keys to Business Success, Small Steps with Big Results to Increase Profits. That's on Monday, March 27th. It's at lunch. So if you just want to jump on your Zoom, and you can catch Linda Lewis, who's with Cash Overlooked. And she's going to help us. We talk about all these things that are kind of the softer skills, I would say. And obviously we want to bring you the business building tools that are not just soft skills, creating processes, procedures, and systems. And we're talking right now about the 12-week year, which is I just, every time I listen to more, I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to hear this book or read this book. It's unbelievable. I think I'm the third. This is my third time through the book, so I'm starting to get it now. It only took me 3 times, but anyway, so anyway, Linda's going to do that on March 27th. These things are all on our Eventbrite, or I'm sorry, on our website, ttrnetworking.com, and you can go down on the right. There's a news and events. You can, go right to that, or we do have a lot of stuff that's out on our website, or I'm sorry, on our social media, Facebook page. We have a group page. We have a group. If you're part of our membership, you're part of that. But then we have a page that, we have, I don't know, a couple hundred, I think we have 400 or 500 people that have liked it, but you can follow our stuff there, and all of our stuff is there. So we have quite a bit. That one is the 27th. And then we have on the 31st of March, we have our once a month in-person networking. That's open networking at the Haverstick. That's Westfield Networking sponsors that. That's one of our groups. That is at 8:30 on Friday the 31st. And it goes till about 9:45 or so. We've had some really good groups there lately. It's a coffee place, but it's on the backside of a church. It's kind of interesting. It's a really nice location and quiet, and but it gives us plenty of space to do what we need. Then the other one, which we have not put out, but I would mark your calendar for, Said the Lady with the Blue Hair, is a new book, saidthelady.with-the-blue-hair.com. If you go to that, you'll find out more. But it's Lisa Wilbur, who is number 5 internationally with Avon, who is going to talk to us about the book. She now wears her hair. She wears blue hair, but she's been with Avon for 40 years. I think it's more than 40 years, but she literally wrote this book. It's just got, she has a co-author, but she's a clown. But it's some of the success tips that, the lessons that she's learned in 40 years of being in the direct sales industry. I think at one time she was like number 2 or 3. I think she's fallen down a little, but Avon is going very strong, and she is a great representative. So that is Wednesday, April 5th. We're doing that in the evening. Actually, our time, I think she's on the same time with us, but this lady, since the book came out, she is busy, and she's won a bunch of cruises. She just went on a cruise and a bunch of stuff, but she is going to literally just jump on a Zoom with our people, and it's free. So join us on that. And we've got a handful of other things that we are now scheduling for April, and then I cannot believe how quickly the time is going. Yeah. May will be here. I mean, when you guys know, because we're all doing it in our own businesses. But anyway, those are what are up. And if you go find us on TTR Networking, you might be able to find us under To the Rescue. Anyway, on Eventbrite, every one of our groups is listed there. You can sign up for individual dates if you want to. You can, just find out more about us. But obviously, our website is TTR Networking, ttrnetworking.com. So I think that's it. Did I miss anything, Dawn?
Choose to Move.
Oh, yes. Choose to Move is the end of April. And the really cool thing is it doesn't matter where you are when you're hearing me say this. You can be local to Indianapolis and you can participate. But Choose to Move is the Indiana Parkinson Foundation run walk. It's a fundraiser. Indiana Parkinson Foundation, the executive director, is a member of TTR. She's been a member for a number of years. She has brought us a wealth, but the Indiana Parkinson Foundation, unbelievable organization. So we have supported them for the last couple of years. You become a member of our team, And you can go to Witten Park on Saturday, April 29th and walk or run I think it's maybe 3 or 4 miles. I don't even know if it's that much. You can do that, or you can do it in your own hometown. You can also just donate money. So we do have on our social media, we have the link. I don't believe it's on the website, but if anybody is asked, is wondering or wants to, whoever you are, you do not have to be a member of TTR. If you're somehow, so many people are affected by Parkinson, Parkinson's. I guess it's on the rise, so many unknown reasons people get it. And I know you probably know more about it, Dawn, than I do. Didn't you have some family member? Was it your dad?
My dad had Parkinson's. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was an avid golfer, but yeah, struggled with the shaky limbs from
Yeah.
the Parkinson's neurological disorder. And but yeah, he kept enjoying his game of golf. And I think that the foundation does a lot to encourage people to continue to have quality of life through the process of dealing with their illness. That's
Right.
what I really love about it as
Yeah.
well. So,
Well, we have actually been really fortunate to have Kim Williams, who's the executive director, but we've also the other program that is connected to that is the Rock Steady, which is the boxing program, which I had the benefit, or I had the blessing of watching a video. Did I ever send that to you, Kim or Dawn? I'm not sure if I sent
I
it
don't
to you.
think I saw it.
Okay, so anyway, the Rock Steady program is a boxing program that was started by some Indiana boxers, and one of them was a member of TTR Networking. She's a retired female boxer, but it's international now. I mean, the benefits of this boxing program, it's so good for them that it's just and they have a big conference I think in September, where they're bringing a bunch of people, all the people from all over the world come to Indianapolis for the training. But it's just funny because here we are in Indianapolis, and you're thinking little old Indianapolis, but it's the place where this Rock Steady started, and I don't know how old the program is, but I guess it's just unbelievable program. So anyway, but that is why we've been connected to a number of members of who work at the Parkinson or Rock Steady, and then I don't really know too many people that have it. I know every once in a while somebody will reveal that they've been diagnosed or something, but it's not something that people necessarily go around and talk about, I guess. But I think the numbers are staggering, and I think more and more people are being diagnosed with it all the time. Isn't it kind of an unknown origin? I mean, it can be nurture or nature. It can
Yes.
be, yeah, okay.
From what I understand, yeah, it can be genetic or it can be acquired. Um,
Yeah,
like you said, unknown reasons. But
yeah,
I'm just glad that there is an organization that is working with individuals, helping to make their lives better through
yeah.
the
Well,
struggle.
so thank you for reminding me about that one, because I don't, I just think we need to bring awareness. We've had it out there for a month or two anyway. Now we've had it on our pages and
Yep.
stuff. So,
Yep. I'm
but
all
anyway,
signed up, so I will be doing the walk.
yay. So if somebody, like I said, though, I found out there were people doing it all over the place in their own neighborhoods. They're
Mhm.
not, you just do it. You just virtually sign up, you pay your fee, and you go do it. I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
so anyway, glad to hear that very much. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh,
Goodness.
thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A couple of things that I wanted to remind our listening audience of, especially our Collaborating Connections members. Please be sure to check out Referral Runway. on a routine basis, whether that's weekly or more frequently. As referrals are posted, I will do introductory emails or text messages to do that warm referral, but I record the information in referral runway because that gives us an opportunity to keep track of the success of our referrals, the activity that we're doing. It's kind of lends to, having a consolidated resource to manage what we're doing, who we're referring, how it's going, and supports that our efforts are effective. So, just as a reminder to stay on top of keeping your information up to date in Referral Runway, as well as looking at the information that's out there, any referrals that have been made and passed on to you, as well as looking at the information of other TTR networking professionals that you might want to connect with, even outside of this group. It's wonderful that we have this consolidated resource where we can go check out what's going on in another group that meets at another time and date, who their members are, what those individuals do, who they're needing to be connected with. It just allows us to, of course, broaden our circle of connection. So that is one recommendation that I wanted to make to everyone, as well as I always say, make sure to stay on top of those one-on-ones. You don't always have to wait for someone to reach out to you. It's wonderful when you see someone that is in an industry that you're interested in, or a new face within the TTR networking or collaborating connections, even a visitor, to go ahead and reach out to them to make that connection. Find out what they're about, what they're looking for, how you might be able to help, and hopefully they are inquiring the same of you. And you'd be surprised at what you have in common and how you might be able to partner with individuals to increase your potential client base. So those couple of things I wanted to make sure and share. I think we will go ahead with our roundtable introductions, and I am going to ask Robert Hailey, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Blessing, I will do so. Robert Hailey with Old National Bank, community mortgage development loan officer here to help the low to moderate income folks become homeowners. I can do a full suite of product, but I do focus mainly on that low to moderate income folks. I have dollars to assist them, no matter if they're Indianapolis or outside of Indianapolis, but mostly Indianapolis. Great program to help folks. Best referral partner, anyone you know, anyone that's looking that's renting, buying, or in the home currently they're looking to do. So everyone works to be a referral partner. So I was asked the question: if you're not investing in yourself, what are you doing? So allow me to assist. Again, Robert Hailey with Old National Bank.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert Hailey. Do we have any questions for Robert Hailey and Old National Bank at this time? Robert, I heard about those couple of bank closures that occurred early this week, or the end of last week, and maybe on Monday. Maybe they occurred on different days, but does that have any impact on Old National, or is there chatter as far as changes perhaps that might be coming towards your industry based upon that?
Well, no changes. When you look at the banks, our bank is very diversified, and we've been around since 1834, and we pretty much all banks have some risks out there, but our risk out there is minimum to none at all, because we diversify ourselves enough to make sure that we are in a good position. Does those two banks that has issues, does it affect the banking industry as a whole? In some way, but not enough to say that it's an issue for us in the marketplace. That bank, the good thing about it the federal government, is in stepping in and doing what it needs to do to try to make those banks better than what they are, and having findings on some bigger banks that will maybe acquire them and make them whole with them, because the federal government has to secure their funds already for all the depositors itself. And when you look at the bank, normally a bank, if you listen to the news, that bank, like the one in California, leverage itself more than it normally should have with 90% of unsecure business. And so you put yourself in a situation, and also tap into the federal government continue to raise rates as a whole, and that puts some banks at a risk, put more on a higher risk factor. So looking at all those factors, but again, and as well as regulations that was taken down in 2018, that also contributed to that, because if 2018 regulation was still in place, those banks would have been would have to shore up their capital much more stronger for the banks, and there's also there would have been things in place to prohibit them from leveraging themselves the way they did. So, so a little more than you want, but I gave you a little bit more. So, but
no, that's great. I imagine that there are individuals that, based upon that, what has happened in the news, scrutinize their own financial institution or uh, uh, a bank that they're considering to partner with for some type of investment, whether it's their home or etc. That they are taking the time to look a little bit closer at that financial institution, how they're rated amongst their regulators, what is their their level of diversity and risk. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, but also too, another thing too, to help you understand. But in the day of technology, that what created the storm out there was a large investor who pulled out quite a bit of his money, and then and because of the way it was leveraged, and started tweeting it. Normally, if you read history, and when the last bank crash happened, it was not sent out information, so it was a run on the bank. Would you find the bank? If they didn't have the run on the bank, it would not have been an issue. But the tweets out there made that happen a lot more quicker. So and also regulation looking at how do you slow that down as well as communication, which it's not actually something that was happening that was real. The run on the bank created the realness of it all because of Twitter. And so you had that thing. So really, had it not had the Twitter part, the federal government could have came in and saved it much quicker and made things happen much better. But the Twitter you have now, people emotionally running at something when it's really not an issue, and you create an issue. And so you got those things there. So social media is good and bad. You can get good information out there, but now as we look at, it's not 1929, so 1829 when you look at when the last time it happened, but we're in the 21st century, and news is happening things right instantly. So the regulations got to be put in place as well for how that communications happen to slow down that noise that creates a big issue when it's not an issue.
Yeah. So whereas we are in the age of, terrible things like school shootings, and schools prepare by having an active shooter preparation plan for their students, as business owners, maybe we all think about how best to have an active communication plan for our clients, customer base, when things happen, that helps us halt the misinformation, miscommunication, or people acting irrationally, emotionally, based upon some circumstances. That might be something to consider for all of us.
Yeah, because people, like I was talking with a client, and she was getting all the information off of social media, and so I said, well, I said, tell people when you look at getting information, first understanding what is the source and can you go out and verify on your own. In this case here, she was talking about some gentleman was telling her about the government is gonna have some things in place right now that you're gonna take your money. I said, and she was believing it. I said, well, one, I said, a little self-education for yourself. I said, first, what is the source? She said, well, I said, okay, now, can you, I said, what if he's saying something about the government? You can go out to the government's website and verify. Did you do that? Well, no, but he was, I said, so first thing, stop. Understand who the source is, and then can you verify what they're saying? Because that person, if they have to only want the information. If something's about to happen, guess what? They're not the only place it can happen. Whoever say they're going to be doing it, go to their website because it'll be posted. You can read this for yourself and get your information. So then it's going to either verify or not or deny what they unverify what they thought person talking about. I said, so first I had to say, look, check yourself, pause, check your source, and then you go verify it. And that'll stop a lot of the craziness people do versus emotionally running and tweeting and sending things. I said, you send things out, you don't know what you're talking about. I had to throw my wife on the bus. I throw my wife on the bus on this one. Good example for it. And her friend, they were talking about some things. I said, where do you get that from? So she kind of tried to tell me about, about it, something happening. I said, where'd you get that from? Well, so and so. I said, so where they? I said, stop spreading. And because she was just telling everybody she talked to, I said, you need to stop doing that. You have not even verified any of the information, but you just sharing it out. And in case and coming about, it was wrong what she was saying.
Yep. In my day job as an auditor, on my board in my office, I have trust is not a control. Trust but verify. Always verify. So thanks again, Robert.
If people entitled to their opinion about things, I said, but they cannot verify. They cannot be spreading wrong information, and people do that a lot on social media. I said, stop. I said, stop sending the information out. Stop getting information and go try to tell everybody. I said, find you a different topic.
More trouble than good.
Yeah.
Thanks again. I am now going to, are there any other questions? Okay. CB Bjork, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Have these blinds in my windows that are closed, but still the light's getting through.
Your face is striped.
That's actually really good for the, if you're going to talk about being a psychic, that's cool.
Well, it would make for really neat photography, really, because you can hide stuff in the extreme brightness of the light.
No kidding.
Because you can see how stuff disappears due to the banding.
Yeah.
You really almost can't even tell I'm sitting here smiling, or it looks like, where my mouth is, I have like some sort of like horse reins in my mouth or something that's, gone back. So yeah.
You're a strange man.
Move this over.
That's better. That's better.
Can you see me now? Can you see me
can.
now? Hi everyone. I'm CB Bjork with Ascension Imaging Studio. I am looking for professionals or I help professionals, I guess would be a better way to put it. Thank you, Robert. That's a good way of saying it. Because I'm learning from you guys as well as I do this. So I'm looking to help professionals who are wanting to either create branding or improve their branding for websites, basically any type of media that they're looking to produce. So whether it's social media, whether it's print media, whatever the advertising is, looking to find those who are wanting to have good, solid, strong photography to help their business. help themselves, help their business. I'm
Very-
getting better at this. So a
You
few
are
more
getting-
months and I'll have it down.
You're doing well. Don't worry
Practice-
about it.
Practice makes perfect.
It's exactly.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
So I'll put obviously my information over into the comments, and it'll be there for anyone who's watching. So
Okay, super.
thank you.
awesome. Thank you, CB. Do we have any questions tonight for CB Bjork
Yeah.
and Ascension Photography?
Yes, I do think I need to ask that question. Stevie, hold on just a second. Just confirm, you are in the process of the drone photography stuff, or you do that, or that's one of your main goals? What is that? Tell me your status on that, just so I don't misquote it or represent it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Is he there? CB, did we lose you?
Maybe he muted again.
I muted.
So it's technology at its finest here. No, it's fine, CB. I just want to make sure that is something you do or you're working on it.
No, I have the and I'm trying to let's pull it up real quick.
I probably would be smart to go look at your website, correct? Probably.
That would work. Sorry to go quiet.
It's okay. Because I know the drone photography. I mean, I know you guys mentioned it. If you and Catherine were talking about maybe you were working on it or, yeah, if you can, I mean, I'm sorry. I just know there's a lot. I mean, not only the mortgage person that I was referring to earlier, but I know there's a lot of people out there that, you know, a lot of other realtors, and it's a big deal. We had a prior member that was part of TTR that did the drone photography, and I think he did a killing. Dawn, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but he did not do much. He was also a realtor, CB. You don't have to get that crazy, but basically he was busy. Of course,
Yeah,
the
they
last
do get busy, and the frustrating thing that I have is I need to get my business registered on Google. Actually, what I need to do is stop using Google, and I need to use Bing. Bing for me has always been the better search engine.
You can register on both, correct?
Yeah, but the way I was looking this up was not doing it. Anyway, if you go to the website, I was trying to pull it up so you can see some of the photos that I have. If you go to the website, you'll see I have a really nice one sitting over a house that I did for one of the Tucker agents. And then I have a really nice one over the lakes in Minnesota with a sunset. So you have the sunset reflecting off the lake, probably, I don't know, 80, 100 feet up. So yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll on anything.
Okay, good.
So,
I just want to make sure.
the only thing I'm missing is customers.
Well, and that's a matter of exactly what you're doing. You know, you get on, and it may seem like it's not fast enough for what you want, but you know, the people that you're going to reach through networking like this and putting yourself in there, out there, whatever, are going to be, they're going to be more solid than some, you know, there's other ways you could do it. And obviously you would want to market, you're a marketing person, you know, but I mean, you want to do a variety of things, but this is where you get to know, you know, we get to know who you are and what, you know, like I said a couple of weeks ago, what is your, you know, what don't you want to do? And, you know, maybe you don't right at this moment know what that is. Maybe that'll come up later, you know, as you go to, you know, pictures of whatever, and you decide, nope, I'm not doing that anymore.
Well,
It's a, but anyway, no, I'll refer them back to your website. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't misstate if that really, I knew that was something you wanted to do.
yeah,
So,
give them my information.
mhm,
I will talk with them.
gotcha.
We'll discover what it is they are looking to do. If I'm unable to help, I will say as much.
Good.
If I can help, then we will move forward and we'll get whatever done.
Cool. All right. Well, that's the best answer anybody can give anybody. So thank you for
Yep.
that.
Absolutely. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to celebrate the fact that CB is our newest
Woohoo!
member of Collaborating Connections. Yay! And CB, I don't know if you have logged on to get set up in the referral runway, but based upon the conversations that you and I have already had, I've already got a good handful of individuals that I certainly want to do some warm introductions on your behalf. So we will get moving on this.
And I know Dawn already said it, guys, but I really do not talk about referral runway enough. We need to be making more of a thing of it, because it's really an easy way to send referrals. I send out the links to the business cards all the time. And I just did a couple today where I was kind of like, oh, that profile's not good. People aren't using it to the advantage that they have.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, just, so you can go in anytime and change it. I mean, if something happens where you want to, your website changes, or I don't know why you do that, but I mean, things change. So why wouldn't you, take advantage? Anyway, thank you, Dawn. I know you already talked about it. I just want to say it again and again and again.
Oh, no problem.
It's
We'll make sure to touch on it tomorrow as well at the happy hour event.
definitely.
Good. All righty. Well, Jennifer Johnson, are you
Yeah.
ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Oh, sure. I'm Jennifer Johnson. I'm actually the founder of TTR Networking, which Dawn does a great job of talking about it at the beginning of our meetings every week. So thank you for doing that. We have been around for 12 years. I'm also a relationship marketing coach. I'm actually certified, what they call silver certified promptings coach. Basically, I would just throw it out to everybody. Did you know that we all know you don't make a sale typically in one contact, right? I mean, that just doesn't happen. I don't know if I said this last week, but literally the numbers are out there. It takes an average of 5 to 12 contacts and it might take more. I mean, it just depends on what you're trying to sell them or what you're trying to share with them. And so very few of us, actually, it's less than 3%, even follow up with and we have conversations all the time about how people do not follow up. So how are you doing on that? Are you following up? Are you keeping in touch? Are you the one? Are you staying top of mind? And if you are not doing a good job, you're not alone. Obviously, the bulk of salespeople are really challenged on how to do that. So work with us, TTR Networking, or work with me as a relationship marketing coach, and I'll help position you to stay top of mind in authentic ways. We create personal connections that make you your prospect's first choice when they're ready to buy. I mean, everybody's got a different buying cycle, and, you just need to stay in front of them. So how do you do that? And I can help you. And I also help entrepreneurs and business people, business owners, small business owners, probably. Somebody just filled out an application. I don't know who it was. Oh, yeah, we have a new member of another group. Isn't that fun? Okay, that is funny. That popped up. Anyway, I help people listen to their inner voice, basically taking action. If I didn't know Dawn so well, I would tell her she needs to start the Cheerful Chocolate blog. She needs to do these things that are her inner voice talking, and that's how you get branded, right? I mean, that's part of those things that, anyway, so you have to think of those things and you have to listen to that voice, be the unique, awesome person. I don't know if Robert has looked at our website lately but there is still out there the Real Men Wear Pink thing that I always just think that, so if people knew Robert, and I know Robert, you're a great man and but that's just so sweet. I mean, there's only so many men that, you know what I mean? Because isn't he standing there with a pink bow tie or something? I just think that's really cool, because that is definitely something that somebody might get on the website and say, I want to know more about that guy, anyway, that's those little inner voices. And maybe he wasn't thinking I need to put a pink tie on. He was supporting a great cause, but it really does say something about you when you do those kind of crazy, well, what if I did this? And I don't know, maybe you weren't doing that, Robert. You were just supporting a good cause. But anyway, so who do you know out there that needs that help? Our networking groups are a great place to be known, to get to know each other every week. I would tell you, please take three months or so, give yourself some time and get in there and make it happen. And if you're not doing that, it's not called net sitting on the couch. It's called networking. Anyway, Dawn, I will leave it at that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jennifer Johnson. Do we have any questions for Jennifer Johnson at this time? All right. If you can't think of them right now, think of some for tomorrow night. And hopefully we'll see all these smiling faces at the happy hour at Chewy's. I want to take the opportunity to acknowledge some of our members who aren't able to be on this call tonight. We have Nancy Vesley of IHC Insurance, who is very knowledgeable and well-trained, can help you in any of your life and health and supplemental insurance needs. So if you've got any questions, Medicaid, changes in health insurance, considering increasing life insurance policies, Nancy Vesley is your contact. And we also have Stacy Schamberger Smith with Tava Lifestyle Products. Tava products are everything from vitamins and energy drinks and mental clarity and comfort, all those things that are good for you and your body to make you feel better, make you perform better, and relax and enjoy life more. So if you are interested in looking into improving your lifestyle, your health, your mental clarity, check out Stacy Schamberger and Tava Lifestyle Products. My name, again, is Dawn Evans Casey, and one of my companies is Spa Travel. That's the company that I was with when I started, when I first came into Collaborating Connections. And Spa Travel is a full-service travel agency here to help clients have memorable, enjoyable travel experiences. Certainly everybody can get out there and do their travel research online and book it themselves and search for the bargains. I help save time and energy of my clients because I'm connected to thousands of vendors around the world and certified, know the ins and outs of the travel industry. So I not only listen to my clients, listen to what they're looking for and what they need, consider their budgets and provide proposals of where to go and what to do and making sure that they enjoy themselves while they're there. But I also am an advocate on behalf of my travel clients when they run into issues, when that flight is delayed or canceled, when their hotel room isn't quite what they expected, when their reservation for an excursion is sold out. I'm the person to call and talk to that vendor. The vendors are happy to work with me because they'd love for me to bring them more business. And I can get things settled and let my clients have a more stress-free experience. So if you know of anybody who's planning travel in the future, whether that be destination rail, air and hotel, resort, either domestic or abroad, and they've got some time to plan and a general idea of what it is they'd like to do, I would be happy to talk to them. Dawn Evans Casey, Spa Travel. Any questions I can help anyone with this evening? All righty. Well, it is 7 o'clock. I know, Robert, that you said you were going to have to spin off. It's been a pleasure talking with you tonight, and we're just going to continue our conversation about our March theme, Masterminding. So if you'd like, please feel free at your leisure to check out the rest of the recording. Take care, Robert.
Bye, Robert. See ya.
Okay. Now, last week we were talking about the 12-week year and wanted everybody to consider what are the goals of your business? What are the SMART goals, the action plans that you have in place right now that you're intending to accomplish within the 2023 calendar year? And then think about which of those goals are your highest priorities. And we were going to use those as the stepping stones to start planning our 12-week year. Jennifer or CB, I don't know if you would like to share any of your thoughts on that at this time. What are your highest priorities? And something that you can choose to focus on first in your 12-week year.
You know, with CB, I would think, CB, this is kind of like your special meeting that you could take advantage of any well, you know what I'm saying, CB, that didn't sound right. You could use it as an opportunity. I mean, I do have, you know, I have some lofty goals, and the 12-week year of somebody, you know, Dawn, you are so good at pulling out things. Have you read the book?
I have not. I did sign up for
The workshop?
the training that's going to occur later on this month. So I've got some preliminary like homework from that.
Because
I've not read the book yet.
Yeah, because honestly, what we're talking about right here is exactly it's exactly what we should be talking about. And with you know, trying to get those big goals in front, you know, get them up front, and then yeah, I know, you know, but you're breaking them down into the 12-week year. And sometimes CB, I don't know if you don't probably care about this, and Catherine might not have even known this, but we were operating for probably 4 or 5 years of the 12 years. We were, as TTR, we were operating, and I had never written down any goals that I had because because I'm the kind of person that if I write it down, I knew that then it would be in print, and I needed to act. I mean, you know, you can't. And then if I put it in print and I shared it with my leaders like Dawn and, you know, Catherine and some of the others that are I'd be like, then I would be, you know, I was afraid that people would say, well, she didn't meet that goal. You know, I mean, you know, but it really doesn't work like that. And if that is the way that it works with your team or your group around you, then that's not a good thing. That's not what you want in your team or your sphere. You want people that are going to encourage you, even in the event that you didn't, you know, you maybe didn't do everything. But when we did write when When I wrote goals down, the next year, I actually saw things happen because, and CB already knows this, he said the universe, if the universe wants to give him the opportunity to do a job or meet somebody, it'll happen. So I'm not saying anything I'm sure that he doesn't know, but when I put it on paper and I actually said, okay, now I want to do this, we actually grew to 12 or 13 groups that year, which was, I don't think we quite doubled. That was prior to the pandemic. But when you put those things on paper, I mean, I'm always like, oh no, I don't want to put it on paper. Then everybody's going to hold me to it. And I found out that year that wasn't it, because people help. And if I want to share with everybody, I can. But, I always admire people who have some major goal and they share it. And maybe it's losing 25 pounds or whatever it is. And you're like, oh my gosh, I would never tell people I was going, because then they're looking at everything you're eating. And every time you're at it's like, so I think I grew up in a house that maybe I got the wrong support. I don't know, because now but once I got into the working world, putting it out there and sharing it, actually, people want to help you. And so I'm not trying to tell CB anything. He does know that, but I'm sure he knows all that stuff. But when Dawn's asking us to come up with our goals, now I'm a little bit more like, okay, this isn't so bad. What do I want to do? Can I say this real quick? I don't know. It's not written in a goal, but it should be. By the end of the year, I want to have all of our programs operating. I want them all operating and operating efficiently. That sounds, and I'm not putting numbers with it, because what does that mean? We have a few programs right now for TTR that are not happening right now, just because of manning it has been kind of, so we have a mastermind, we have a beginning networking, and then we have something else. I'm trying to think what the other thing is, but so I would like to, by the end of 2023, have those running, and that means all the Nicole helps me a lot with the marketing and everything, but I would like to just have it running like clockwork, just have it. I mean, and I don't know if you guys, but we've got the programs. Now I just want to figure out, how do we get them all to be operating at efficient.
Yep.
And it's always been kind of tricky to figure out how to time it. And to still have enough time to build this network without being so wrapped up in the meetings every week. So when we're talking about the 12-week year, they say to give yourself 1 to 3 goals, and they could be totally unrelated. They could be, I want to get all 10 of our groups running efficiently, doing this, and this by the end of 2023. And then I want to, something completely the other end of, but I don't know what that other thing is. But that is one of my big goals. I don't, I think to this point, I felt like I didn't even know who are we compared to everything else that's out there. And I feel like I finally kind of clarified that.
If I may jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
You go to McDonald's. You go to McDonald's, and what do? You order.
Right.
And then what happens? It appears, right?
After you get it.
Now let's move that forward in terms of your 12-week. Okay. You're going to write it down. Awesome. That's placing an order.
Yeah.
That's the same thing in terms of the universal energy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
If you want to go to the Bible, it's Matthew 7:7. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will open unto you.
Okay.
Everything that sits in the 12 weeks here, everything about writing it down, everything about putting the intention behind it, falls on those simple things. If you want something, you have to be specific though.
Right.
As people come to me and my other stuff and they're like, well, I want love. Okay, if you want love, get a puppy. Okay? Because a puppy will love you.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a relationship, you have to be serious and write down all the details of the relationship that you want. I want this type of person. I want this type of income. I want this type of just everything all the way down. If you don't, if you just say, I want love, the universe is going to give you love, but what you're going to receive is not compatibility. They love you, but it's a stalker. They love you, but it's a narcissist. They love you, but, mommy issues. They love you, but, on and on and on. And that's not what you're looking for.
Right.
When you go to McDonald's, you don't go up to the drive-thru and say, hi, give me food.
Right. I agree with you. Yes, I'm with you.
You tell them you want a number 7, you want it with fries, make it large. You drive around, you get a number 5, it's large, it's perfect. Same thing with writing it down. I'll go back to listening.
Oh no, that was great.
Yeah, and actually, have you read the 12-week year, CB?
No.
Okay, because that's exactly
know nothing about it.
Huh?
I know nothing about it.
Well, it's taking, instead of the annualized, it's taking it down to a 12 weeks because it's
Intensive.
short to get in and dig in and do it.
Yeah.
Not to get bored and and there's urgency but everything you just said is exactly. So I am saying that my big goal is this. I did not get specific enough. I know I need to do that. And that's where Dawn sent out the SMART. We've talked about SMART goals for a number of years. And all you're doing is really taking them and now you're breaking it down into 12 weeks. And what are the tactics or the things you do every day to get to it? The planning is, so the book, and I'm going to be in a workshop too. So, I mean, after the workshops, I don't know, Dawn, if we're signed up for the same one or not, but when, we're through it, then we'll even have more to share. But the idea, you can't, that's so cool, CB, that you have all that background and the knowledge of all of that, because that certainly, you've got to be specific. We've always talked about SMART goals. So when we're talking about annualized thinking, it's a little different than what we're talking about with the 12-week year, but it's one of the big things they say right out the gate with this 12-week year is that if you're not into planning, then don't do this book. Because and I think that's kind of probably one of my biggest obstacles is I know I want to do it. Let's get at it. I grew up, you go do your work and you're done. I didn't sit around and, you know what I mean? The planning to me is, but they say if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So I know that it's not something that's one of those reasons I didn't want to write it down. Because I didn't want to know, oh my God, my plan is unbelievably complicated, I mean, so I agree with you completely. I'm working on that part of it. I agree.
There was someone, I forget who it was, but they said, sit down and write a list and make it 100 items. It has to be 100. Okay.
Yep.
You're specific about that, of things that you want to accomplish. It isn't that you want to accomplish them in order. You just want to accomplish.
Right.
And at the end of the year, go back and review that list and see how many things on that list you have accomplished. And you can make some of them just crazy stuff. And you can make them others real simple. I want to brush my teeth before I go to bed. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, for some people, it's actually a challenge.
Right, exactly.
But you can put out there, increase, revenue by 10%, increase revenue by 20%, or increase revenue by 50%. You can, Phil Jackson the great NBA coach, when
Right.
he was coaching the Bulls. I want to say it was the Bulls, might have been Miami, or might have been Pat Riley. It was Pat Riley with Miami. He went down there and he talked to him, and he said, all I'm asking each of you is to improve by 10%. 10%. With that, we will win championships. If you just rebound 10% more, if you just score 10% more on points, if you just do 10% more assists, if you just, in the categories, improve yourself by 10%, they won championships. You don't have to sit here and look at the world as this huge mountain of, I got to have 100% change, I got to have 50% change and make it such a mountain. It's the little steps that become something huge.
Right.
And that's part of, don't be afraid of doing the list, but chew the list. Don't try and take the cow in one bite. You know, it's one bite here, one bite there, and another bite, and you achieve those things. So
Yes.
yeah.
I think
And-
you've got a great one in CB being in your group.
I think so. I think so. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I was going to add that what I've experienced thus far with this 12-week year, and last year I took on a lot of stuff all at once, and then without the proper planning and preparation, I dreaded, oh my God, how am I going to manage all this? And well, 2023 is my year of harmony. It's me saying, I can do all of this. I want to do all of this, and I will. So it's a perfect thing to have a process like this 12-week year to start off, within this first quarter, making sure that I'm doing each of the pieces of all of the projects that I'm passionate about, that I enjoy doing, and I'm not putting them off. I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm finding ways to be productive in all of them. And I'm making priority time for all of them. And the pieces of the puzzle are coming together, and then I can celebrate them now. Just like, if I was making a list of 100 things that I have to accomplish that included all of my endeavors and interests, as I check each one of those things off, I get to celebrate it. Yay, I did accomplish this, and then move on to the next. I don't have to put things off because they look too big and problematic. I can be thinking of the ways that I'm going to conquer that as well. It might be further down the line, but it's going to get done. And I'm building momentum as I'm going, as I'm accomplishing the things, right now, and then being able to tuck it away and say, yes, this got done, and now I'm ready for another step. So the way that I used to prepare for a year is, write yearly goals, get to the third or fourth quarter and say, oh my God, I've got all this left still to do. That would be stressful and burdensome and, seem like mountains to achieve. And the 12-week year helps like address those issues, keeps me accountable early, lets me celebrate my productivity and move on to another task. So what I'm doing so far, I'm really loving.
So that's you guys should have you should write your own version of the 12-week year, because between you and CB, that's the idea. It's the greatness in the moment. CB is one of the things, and you just basically said that. it's rising to the, well, I don't know. This is what I gathered from, you're talking about everybody, the incremental, that's when, when they did the 10%, it's rising to that occasion. One of our first people in our Northside group read the book, and he said it's like looking at what's his name? Phelps. What's Phelps?
Tim Phelps?
No, the swimmer.
Um,
Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyway.
yeah.
Anyway, he won all the gold medals, right? The 7 gold medals or whatever his thing is. And the reason I bring him up is people would argue, he's the greatest of, he got the medals. Well, he got the medals, but he did the work. The greatness was in the moments of working, and you know what I mean? So it's kind of you get the recognition, but he rose to the occasion so many times when he had to. And when you don't have, I've said this on and I don't know, you guys might be sitting there shaking your head, Jennifer's lost. I'm really not. When I have less time to get things done, I get more done. I have to. I mean, you just have to. I mean, you don't have any. So that's what the 12-week year. There's no time for veering off to do, my first thought was, what do I do with the fires that have to be put out, every week? Because there's always, and you try your best to time block even that, and every day has and every week has so many blocks. But if you go out and look up the 12-week year in Google or whatever, Bing, I don't know, whatever you want to look at, whatever search engine, I think you're going to find that there are thousands of success stories about people, and they might not be implementing every single part of it, but they're implementing the things that they can really, that have made, significant difference in their world. So I am still, for me, I'm a little bit, I'm still a little bit not flustered, a little bit, what is the word? A little bit, not skeptical, that's not the word. Just a little nervous about, putting it all down and but I've been trying to get my husband to do, we need to spend time figuring out what we're doing, because I want to know what I'm doing for the next 12 weeks. I really want to know. I really, so the bigger picture is, what goals do we have? Because he's not too far away from retirement. And I want to make sure that we're, we've been planning financially for retirement, but there's also the, the other parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to be retired before and I'm not probably ever retiring, but I know what I want to do while he's retired. He's going to, we've got it's not just vacationing. It's like, I have a plan, where I want to do things, anyway, kind of got off your track, but the goal thing, can I ask CB a question though? Do you think, now that we're talking about the year and the 12 weeks, do you think, I said I'd like to have this done by the end of the year. I'm not sure that's kind of anti 12-week. I mean, would you say that, CB, or would you be thinking more before you knew about the 12-week year, would you be thinking more along the lines of, 2 months or 3 months, or would you still, before you heard about that, would you still think annualized? What would you
12
think?
weeks.
12 weeks?
It's a 12-week program. Do it in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, before I brought up the 12 weeks, I'm saying, had you heard about that? Because I do think, even if we all say, what do you want to have this year done by the end of the year? What are your goals for this year? We're all going to take it and break it down in whether we come to a group like this and we say, by the end of the year, I want to do this. But somewhere in your paperwork, you probably broke it down. If I talk to this many people, I'll get this many people, I'll have hopefully recruited this many, or I'll have sold, or I'll, I mean, we would have done that. I think that when you really think about the 12-week year, Dawn, you and I will have to compare notes after we do the workshop, but they basically say 12 weeks and then you have a week off. But it's not to be like, let's go back to our old thinking. It's to look at your results.
Yeah.
And to go off on vacation if you want to, or something like that, to do that. So I know that it's a 12-week course or a 12-week plan, CB. I'm just saying, prior to that, would you have thought of 12? Would you have thought of 3 months, or would you have said, because we're all kind of in that annualized, but I still think that's too long for me. Maybe it's because I know about the 12-week thing. I don't know.
I
I
think
would
it's
say-
okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, CB.
No, it'd be okay. It would just depend upon the goal. I
Right.
mean, you know, 12 weeks, logical things that I could think of happening is obviously, you know, having my first customers, you know.
Right.
I'm in the hot season for real estate right now. So, you know, maybe getting, you know, 10 houses, for example, you know, easily doable action steps. You know, if I knew there was something I was looking for by December, you know, yeah, I could put that down. But again, right now, I'm a little bit more interested in what's now than what's 6 months down the road, 9 months down the road, that stuff. So,
Cool. Well, do you think, can I ask this last question, or my last thing, Dawn?
yeah.
Always, I kind of hijack your question, your
No.
thing, but do you think, lady and gentleman here on the call, do you think prior to the pandemic, maybe we were all kind of used to the 12-week now? Do you think that had anything to do with it? For me, it has. I mean, I'm telling you, I've had a lot of people who've left their day job and now are doing their you know, their side hustles, their main thing. You know, I mean, do you think that has anything to do with it? Has it changed your, you know, our friend Dawn didn't, when she went through her stuff, her mom died, and right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that has that changed your own vision of what your goals are? Do you feel like every day is a gift more than it was? Not that we didn't celebrate what we had, but I feel like, and I've had a couple other people who said, I'm too, you know, life's too short. I got to get it now.
Yeah. Post-pandemic, life is different. And I can say, especially since I've been doing the genealogy nonprofit, and I know so many more of my relatives and family members, that now I just mentioned it to my husband this weekend. I went to a funeral this weekend. When I got home from the funeral, I found out about another death in the family. And I have to say it's part of it is because I'm connected to and I know so many more people. Part of it is post-pandemic. Overall, I think people face health challenges more so as residual effect of the pandemic. And part of it is just me recognizing, yeah, every day is a gift. So where an annual plan, whether it was for my personal or professional life, being annualized was the norm for me for many years. Like I said, in 2022, it didn't work as well for me anymore. I need to change. I need to think about how to be more effective. I need to find things to celebrate more frequently, to acknowledge progress and continue to propel me forward. I didn't need that as much years ago as I feel like I need now. So this is a perfect time and a perfect program, I think.
Actually, that's a really good point. Dawn, you always say things that make me think. But you said that. we all need that, right? We need to have celebrations more often. We didn't know how good we had it, maybe,
Yeah.
you know? Not that but how many of us have lost people and their livelihood, has changed because they lost their whatever job that they loved, and now they're, or maybe they didn't, maybe they lost something they didn't like at all. Now they've got an opportunity to do something completely different. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for you, CB, because I think you've got a really great attitude, and I think you've got opportunity in front of you that, just keep putting it out there and don't give up on these people who don't respond right away. But I know your attitude. I mean, I know you've got a good attitude, so it will work for you. It will. It's just, a year or so down the road, you're going to say, I see what it was all about. I get it, but anyway, Dawn, I'm sorry if I do hijack your calls all the time, but
When do I ever complain, Jennifer?
Don't know.
You take our conversation in directions, although unplanned, are still very productive for us.
Okay.
So I'm happy to have you here and contributing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just glad CB is jumping in here, because look at what he gave to the conversation.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you brought it up right away, and then the kind of look he gave me when he said it's a 12-week program, right? You're probably thinking, are you an idiot? No, I'm not an idiot. I'm just asking before, I mean, things have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, things would have changed anyway, but had we not gone through 100-year, that thing that happens once every 100 years, I don't think it would have changed quite the way it did.
Yeah.
We would have been older.
It's a great message to share with the listening audience who's not on the call with us tonight, but who may hear this recording is, wherever you're at in your process of your entrepreneurial or small business endeavor, whether you're starting, whether you're seasoned and looking for some innovation or some new direction, whether you're just growing and expanding and wanting to understand how to accommodate that effectively to get it done. Networking is the place to be. You can have so many things going through your head on your own, but when you get together with others and have the conversation and kick ideas around and listen to new and different perspectives, that's when the soup gets seasoned. That's when the good stuff comes to the top. So we certainly hope to see new faces and learn new things from our listening and audience out there. Please feel free to reach out to us at collaboratingconnections@gmail.com. Connect with us on Facebook or LinkedIn or the TTR Networking website. And we certainly look forward to talking with and seeing you. To all of our collaborators, go forth, have a prosperous and productive week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday night. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Good call, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Stevie. Bye, Dawn.
Bye.